Hi there, I'm Sue Resick and I'm making a new Gerson recipe today for you. It's not really a true recipe, but I'm reheating some mashed potatoes that I made yesterday, and we don't use a microwave in Gerson. It's better for us to not do that. I don't know the science behind it, something to do with, I don't know, radiation, something. So anyhow, but we don't use microwaves to reheat food, and generally in Gerson we cook a lot of things fresh, but you know what, it is hard to make mashed potatoes for just one person. So yesterday I made mashed potatoes. Chris and I had mashed potatoes last night. I'll show you what we had. We ate half the pot, and I wanted to show you how I reheat them, because actually I like them better the second day than the first day because of how tasty they come out. So I made my mashed potatoes Gerson style. You know, you use a little Hippocrates soup, you put in your better butter blend that I make the butter blend with onion powder, turmeric, and a little, a little thyme in there. It makes it savory. So that's how the mashed potatoes are made. Now for reheating them, my pan's a little bit warm. I had it turned on. I'm adding oat milk, and this is oat milk that I made myself. This isn't processed from the store. This was 2 tablespoons oatmeal to a cup of water, and I put it in the blender till it was pureed. I don't know, I'm not going to use the full cup, I don't think, but I wanted to make sure I had enough. So I used about 3/4 of a cup of my homemade oat milk. It's just oats and water, nothing else. I didn't want to sweeten it, putting it into the mashed potatoes. I didn't want to put the dates in there. So I'm going to give it just a little sprinkle of turmeric. Makes some kind of sunshiny yellow too. There we go. A little sprinkle, just enough to cover the top of the milk. Can you see that? Just enough to cover the top. And I'm using garlic powder, which was not in our butter blend. Little garlic powder across the top of that. There we go. And then my milk, the milk here is getting quite warm already. It's starting to bubble already because my pot is hot. I'm taking a scoop of potatoes, plopping them in there. Another scoop of potatoes. And I'll drop them down in that warm milk, and I start breaking them up to mix them back in. I'm going to take some more. See, I don't usually measure, so it's interesting to me to see how much milk I use. This is about 3/4 of a cup. And I just keep plopping in potatoes. And as they warm up, they'll be easier to blend in. So I'm going to use a fork here. And I'm just going to start pressing down, you know, I don't know if I can show you that. I'm just kind of pressing down through the potatoes, blending them into the seasoned milk. I'm going to turn down my temp here too. I don't need it boiling so hard. There, medium low. The garlic. Okay, it's starting to mix. Now, I've eaten these potatoes. I've put enough milk in sometimes that when I've done this, I've ended up with almost like a pureed soup, which is fine. It tastes good. There's other times I've put more potatoes in and less milk, and they come out more like mashed potatoes. Again, this is going to be somewhere in between. I'm going to put the rest of those potatoes in there. Might as well. I don't want to have to go through this again. And I'm just going to press those down in. And this is really quite a treat. It's really quite tasty. Now, if you're not a Gerson person and you want to use a milk from the store, you can do that. I sometimes will use soy milk. I'm not Gerson anymore, so I'll use a little soy milk sometimes, or a little almond milk. As long as it's unsweetened, it works just fine. But in Gerson, I would do this in Gerson. When I was doing Gerson, I would have my own oat milk. And I just do it really quick. 2 tablespoons of oats, cup of water, put it in the blender, and it pureed that all up. And I let it sit for a minute. And actually all the powdered oats is down here in the bottom. I didn't want to put those in because it would thicken it too much. I'm not looking for pudding. You know, I didn't want the oats to thicken it. I wanted just the potatoes to thicken it. Does that make sense? Okay, that's coming together real nice. So now I'm just kind of working out any lumps. I think I put too much milk in. Next time use half a cup. You can always add more. Okay? But I don't mind when they're soft. You know what? It's like having pureed squash. That's the texture now. It's like a pureed squash. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that. If you want to be more like the mashed potatoes you had yesterday, then you put less milk in. Okay, there we go. Beautiful, golden yellow, twice mashed potatoes. I guess that's what I'd call them, twice mashed. They're good. This is one of my favorites. Just being able to do this, have a little bit of that left over. I'm gonna put a little more garlic powder in there. That's good. It's really good left over because it's got the seasonings from yesterday and now the new seasonings from today. If you're not a Gerson person, feel free to add a little more salt and pepper if you want that in there. So I hope you can try this. Make your mashed potatoes. Make enough mashed potatoes for 2 days. Eat them the first day, and the second day you can do this. All right? I hope you enjoy that. Let me know down below. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.